Hello, this is Teresa Talea and my dear friend Alex.
Hi.
We're at the North Fork American River in California, and it's beautiful, but you can see the drought around us.
Unfortunately.
We would like to talk to you today about Alex's experience in the Law of One religion. Would you call it a religion?
Yes, it was a religion. Yeah.
And then you found my book, Eternal Humans and the Finite Gods, that talks about the Law of One and how it's different to how you are self-integrated in a more singular way versus all these entities around. So I'd like to have your perspective and experiences shared here.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll do my best to share my experience. It was a big part of my life, and I was always searching for truth and for something. I was always searching for something outside of myself, and that's where it led me to this Law of One religion. I was in other more mainstream religions at first. I was into Buddhism a bit, and that's similar to the Law of One. And so it was an easy segue for me to go into this more New Age religious Law of One paradigm. And so when I found this particular group and this particular kind of sect of Law of One, you could call it, what was in my awareness then, what excited me was all of the stuff that was being laid in front of you, just with diagrams and different kinds of ways to explain where you are in creation. And that was kind of interesting to me, just because there was nothing like that else on the planet. It was intriguing. I was like, what is this? So I found myself just being interested in that aspect, and also I started to do the more religious, like light body techniques, and that was also what kind of captivated me too, because it was very intense, those experiences. When I would do them at home, I would feel energies very intensely in my body, and it made me feel like, oh, this is real, because just in the back of my mind, growing up in America, it's kind of hidden, this kind of esoteric or occult energy stuff. Like, it's not, so that I was kind of interested in exploring all of this. I didn't know what I was doing. So
well, really quick, because you said religious techniques, and some people might not see it as religious because they might think, oh, this is an extension of me, these energies, my family out there, and I'm just helping. I'm helping the earth. And did it maybe feel or become religious because it was thought of as like absolutely necessary for your growth?
That's what it was. It was, I have to do these things in order to be okay in my body and my energies and my being. And that's why it felt that's why when I look back now, my awareness I have now, that's why I see it was a religious dogma, or a religious set of rules you had to follow in order to achieve something. And that's in all the religions, I noticed. And it was just another mask of it in this New Age, with the New Age mask. It was another,
like you have to do one stage to then get to the next, otherwise you're not sufficient enough.
Yeah.
Did you not feel maybe good enough or complete enough?
It was always a marathon almost. It was always a marathon to get to the next energy, to get to the next activation, light body activation, to get you somewhere, to get you to a certain state in your being, to connect you with certain things that you apparently need to be connected with. And that's what it was. It was a race, and it was almost it became very rigid. It became very rigid. And while I was in it, I didn't know anything else. So to me, I thought I was doing what was best for me. I thought I was doing what was best for my being, what was best for my body. But in my awareness now, I just know what we have inside doesn't need to be so dramatic and chaotic, and you don't need to have all of this stuff outside of you telling you where to put your energies and what way to do things in order to...
Was that more like the focus even? So there'd be teachings, but it was like, okay, now the grand finale was it usually the techniques, like the big type of theater of it all?
There was always, in the particular group that I was a part of, it was always hours and hours of learning dispensations, and this lady had abilities, and she was able to get them, and and we kind of build up to the grand finale of this major activation in our being for the planet, and we were all convinced that this was helping everything. But seeing it now, I really question, was that helping us individually? Was that helping us reach who we really are? And it's just a little bit upsetting too, because I see the people I used to be friends with, and I question, are they really far away from who they really are? Because I was there too, and I was far away from who I really truly feel who I am on the inside. So
it's more of an internal, more natural feeling, and if you're kind of externalizing stuff, it's all, I kind of see it like almost being a little Frankenstein outside in. It's like you're so fragmented that you need all these pieces and all these activations and sequences to then start feeling more whole. But I don't know how you can feel whole when you're kind of always outside.
When you're so outside of yourself, exactly. And it was like almost like putting this huge wall between who you really are on the inside to kind of grasp for all these activations and all these diagrams and all these understandings of energies that are on the outside, when really you can look on the inside and feel who you really are, and get a straight line to who you are, and a straight line to even pure consciousness, which we know from your book is named All That Is the Pure Essence.
Yeah, it's a title, so it's just the simplest, most purest conscious essence beyond, but also through our multifaceted internal template, it would naturally connect to that, because it's the source of like life, pure energy, and then it's expanded outward to all these complex forms. But like we have that kind of inbuilt in our connection internally. And you told me yesterday that, I mean, you're being honest. You said you felt almost a bit sad because you're realizing, wow, this is just, it's just actually natural, and it's almost like a letdown because it's without all these theatrics. But I said, well, that's natural, because you're just going through the process of really realizing, wow, this is just normal now. And so you're only feeling sad in a way because it's what, seeing it kind of in a different light, that it's not, it's like maybe not being on amphetamines anymore.
It's more ground. It's more grounding. It's a more grounded experience, a more integrated experience of who I am, and connecting with pure energies that I feel like I want to connect with, pure consciousness. And you're right, it was very much, when I was in the Law of One religion, it was very much an externalized grabbing for the next best thing outside of us. And it was like a drug kind of thing. Like you kind of crave it every new learning dispensation that my group I was involved with had, was just the next kind of bring it in, the next kind of wave of energy that you kind of have to embody. And it's just like, well, did you feel like you were more you when you embodied that? Like, did you feel more centered and peaceful and in ways,
clear?
yes. But when I feel the difference between connecting with all that is the pure essence, which I have made a priority to connect with, and I compare it to when I was connecting with those energies from the Law of One activations and techniques, it's such a different experience, because those experiences with the Law of One activations and techniques are so shaking. They're so shaking in the body, and I feel it so much, like this energy, like you kind of have to ground in this body, and sometimes it's hard, and it's just like, is that really that natural to do that? And it feels so much more natural and calm and loving and actually whole, and not so pieced together and fragmented. And
because it's a clear line to... The reason why in my book I focus on finding the beginning, like the purest essence, is because that to me is like the grounding point. So where then, like, I know that I could then align all these facets of my own being to that grounding point, and become congruent within myself, knowing what that energy feels like, but then what every energy kind of afterwards feels like, and then I could start sensing the differences. So that's why I speak about all that is the pure essence. It's not as any type of religion. It's not as anything to be worshipped at all. No hierarchy. It just is. And then these other layers exist too. And it's like, because we're now multifaceted here, it's very important to discern, what is really authentically me versus maybe what's been imprinted or passed on from the outside.
are spliced into an idea of who you think you should be by someone else telling you outside of yourself, oh, you should be this way, you should integrate this certain energy, or
So when you started realizing yourself in this, I mean, you had questions and you kind of didn't feel like you could maybe ask them with others because you started getting ostracized. That was you still kind of going, wait a minute. And how have you developed that more now within yourself, knowing that that's you and feeling more grounded in yourself?
It was hard. It's hard to shake old beliefs, and especially when they're taught by someone that is so convincing and so charismatic and believable, and it is hard to shake all those beliefs by what you were told, this is the truth. And so it did take me a while to kind of step away and remove myself and be in my own space for once, and it was scary at first because I relied so much on other things for my self-worth and for my self-value. I relied on other energies and other entities for my own self-worth and for my safety and for my protection. And I realize now you don't need any of that. You have all the protection you need and all the safety you need and all the good energies you need within yourself. It does take diligence because we are in a place that is pretty fragmented, but it is possible to reach that place within yourself to have that protection and safety. And you don't need to call in anything. You don't need to have any energy outside of you, really, to protect who you are and to know who you are. I mean, yes, obviously, we can connect with the beneficial energies that will help bolster protection.
It
and
helps bolster it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, I just realized myself in all of this, and it was the first time coming from a law of one religion that was telling me that these other things outside of myself are myself, and I have to connect with them to be myself. That was so disempowering because it brought me so far away from who I really am.
How many selves do they maybe think? Like, did they think
728?
But 1,000?
Yeah.
728,000?
Or something around. I don't remember the exact number.
And the more realms that get supposedly discovered, then there's more selves.
Mm-hmm.
And so just imagine fitting all that into you. I can't.
It's like a hodgepodge, and it's just like, where am I in this? Am I all of these things? I mean, a part of me when I was in this, a part of me wanted to believe that I was everywhere, omnipotent, this God figure, but it didn't feel like me. It didn't feel like my true energies of just love and knowing and peace and purity. It just felt so domineering, or like
omnipotent, that's all powerful. I mean, the energy that we have learned that's more deeper within us, besides all this like fight and flight strong energy here, it's soft. Yeah,
it's very soft.
It's peaceful.
And it's gentle. It's not abrasive, and it's not wanting to take you away from who you are. It's not wanting to change you. And that's the one big thing I realized in stepping away from religion altogether, is that true pure energies and true eternal energies, true loving beings, are here to get you closer to who you are, and they don't want to take you away from who you are. They don't have agendas.
They don't ask for access to your DNA. They don't ask for, go to sleep so then I could enter into your field. There's space. Truly
loving beings that are truly aligned with eternal energies are so different than what I've been faced with the law of one religious entities, and it's a totally different way of being, and it's so much closer to who I really am, of love and respecting others and respecting others' individuality, and that feels more like me. And that is really pushed aside in law of one religions for the group kind of energy, and it's more favoring group energies and group consciousness, when that really takes you away from who you are, that you lose who you are.
And so how have you gained even more self-confidence in this process, because you're now more independent, more individual? I can almost feel more alone, but yet you seem now more stable and secure and happy.
I just feel more connected to the true energies of what I've always desired, but it feels more connected, and in that connection there's so much connected to the true pure energies of love. There's so many beneficial.
It's just the natural harmony of what exists in that
Yeah.
flow of life.
Yeah, and
That you're now with that.
and it's just amazing because
Wow.
it just isn't something outside of you. It's something inside of you that is directing this, and it's not anyone else. It's you, and it's your own energies of purity and truth, and we all have that, and that's just amazing.
And yeah, what I've liked when I've found out more about who I am inside, that it's like I am naturally inquisitive, and I feel like my deep core is also just inquisitive and just wanting all this connection and pure love, and it just and it's a little fun and innocent, and it extends to just my human state, how I am here, and it's really cool. I'm like, this is me. Why do I have to be like other people?
Exactly.
This is me, and I don't need to change. It's my uniqueness, and someone else can be even more serious, but I can be pretty serious.
Yeah.
And, even more playful, and just, we all can just be kind of a community where we all respect each other in our uniqueness.
Respect each other's individuality.
But still resonate with, some common energy.
Yeah.
Like knowing.
Yeah, where all of
desire.
our unique energies can come together for something, and not like I've seen it where you lose that. You lose the other people's individual abilities and other people's individual strengths
To become like the guru, to become like the main group with their agenda.
Yeah. It's what I desire and what I see as a vision, and what I hope to facilitate too, and bringing here.
Yay. Well, this was really wonderful. I don't know how long to make this, so would you like to say anything else before we kind of wrap it up?
Maybe just to people that are in Law of One religions, or any kind of religious group right now, just know that it is hard, but to remove yourself from those beliefs. But there is safety in who you really are, and to seek that, and to seek truth, and to seek who you really are. That's what I think I would want to share with people, because so many people want to tell us who we are, and we just have to really ignore that and really go inward and find out who we really are, deeply and diligently.
I completely agree.
All right.
So I could add to it, but that was actually perfect. So Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah,
I really
you're
appreciate you here, and we'll keep in touch, and I'll talk to you sometime later.
Okay.
All right, take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Thank you.